If it's boys, I'm trying to make kings. And if it's girls, I'm trying to make mothers and wives to the kings.
I like how you didn't say queen.
Why did you not say queen?
Queen gives you the position and the authority and the power.
My daughter was like, it was when we had just moved here. I'm raising this girl to be another man's wife. And I know one thing that brothers struggle with is to find girls that are in shape. You know what I'm saying? They know how to look out for themselves.
Right.
So I was like, bro, it's my job as a father to ensure that I teach my daughter not eat junk food and not eat, to be healthy and all that. There was an extended family member that I have. May Allah guide him, yeah? Don't like this guy at all, bro. He abandoned his kids. He abandoned his children. And he used to say to his son as a kid, say, you're gay. When he would cry, his son would say, oh, you're gay. Stop crying like a gay boy.
But how the hell can you just abandon your children, bro? Like, what has to go through a person's mind, or what level do they have to reach to be able to do that, bro?
I'll tell you. Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'ad, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Guys, welcome back to another episode of Chai with My Bias. So look, raising children is an art form that has been forgotten, right? We live in a day and age where actually the family has been attacked and broken down. And there's good reason why they've done this with the advent of individualism, which is that the individual is more important than the society, the community. You had to break the family down. And that's what liberal democracy basically sits on, this concept of I, myself, the self, right? So family definitely took a hit. We are in need of re-educating ourselves in regards to how to raise our children. But the reason why I have this honorable panel here with me, my fellow viewers, is because these aren't just ordinary guys. These are people that are leaders, right? And leaders raise their children to become leaders. So where there are some that just want their kids to get a good grade and behave and, do the bare minimum. Of course, great things like pray your salah, read Quran. There are those that want their children to change the world, right? They want them to actually be beacons of light that create a dent in this universe. For that reason, I have got my beloved brother, Abu Yusuf, aka
Abu Bakr. A bit of a confusing one there, bro.
It's a bit of a confusing one, yeah. I've got him here to my right. I've got brother Sam, Allahumma barik, and we have a new edition that you're going to be seeing a lot more of. Mr. Wadah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I'm well.
So, Sam, we did a podcast the other day, bro, about how the wealthy raise their children in terms of their relationship with money, right? What are some of the things that you're trying to do, not just in terms of money, but in terms of cultivating the intellect of your daughters for the world that you're preparing them for?
I want to start with the story, Sheikh, that happened recently.
Okay.
And it really affected me.
Okay.
So I was on a call with this investor and he just had a 50 million pound exit from his company that he has been building for years. When I say just, he had that exit 2 years ago. So the day he was telling me the story, the day he was about to sign the final document, and as Brother Wadah knows and others know who have probably had experience with exit, it's a build up, right? It takes a long time to get to that stage, even when you start negotiating. So after all that, this is the day. So he has multiple screens up, multiple parties from multiple time zones, DocuSigns, he's signing, he's reviewing thousands of pages, okay? Because they're going to pay him over 2 years, 3 years. So many things, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's signing that. He's doing it from his home office, signing everything. All his team is on the call. Someone walks into his home office, and everybody in his home knows nobody's supposed to walk in because it's going down. It's happening. 50 million pound exit, right? Somebody walks in. He looks a little bit like, what's happening? It's his son, his 21-year-old, and he says, "Baba, I need to talk to you." So he just does this, so that nobody can see on the screen. He just does this. And he's still continuing, engaging with people, signing. Then the son says again, "Baba, I need to talk to you." And he never does that. He's 21-year-old. It's not like he's a kid. He understands the importance, right? And he's used to father working from home. So he had to mute, turn off the camera, and quickly say, "What's going on? Today is the day that our financial future changes. What do you need right now?
SubhanAllah.
Today is the day it happens. What do you need right now?" And then son says, "No, Baba, I really have to talk to you." Then he unmutes, puts the camera on. He said, "Can you guys excuse me for 10 seconds? Something very urgent happened. I'm sorry. It's so unprofessional. Give me 10 seconds. He turns it off again. He says, "What?" The son says, Baba, I have stage 4 cancer.
Inna lillahi.
SubhanAllah, Shaykh. When he told me this on the call, I couldn't hold my tears. Like we're on a call, I couldn't hold my tears. And I just remembered that verse, and Shaykh, you can correct me, that wealth and children are nothing but test, and Allah rewards, right? He said that happened 2 years ago, Sam, and since then, my whole outlook on life has changed. Allah was giving me 50 million pound in one hand. And you know, Sheikh, the irony is he's getting that the exit is a medical company. He's a scientist.
SubhanAllah.
So it's not a financial company. It's a medical company. He's a scientist. And with all his medical knowledge and with 50 million pound in his account, he could not help his son out of that situation. So, you know, the story continues, but the moral being, Sheikh, so that also changed my outlook in a week on a lot of things. You know, I think it's a life of moments. Now I have started looking at life as moments. You know, Sheikh, like, inshallah, my father is going to come in October in Dubai to spend like a month with me. He's just coming. So I'm taking that. My father is 66-year-old. So we take, okay, he's coming. He's going to come again. I'm going to go again. No, I'm calculating, Sheikh. Average Bangladeshi man lives 70 to 75. So he has 4 to 9 years, average. Only Allah knows, right? It could be less, it could be more. In that 4 to 9 years, maybe I'll have, Shaykh, wallahi, 4 to 9 meaningful conversations. Because I'm seeing with the trend, it's one meaningful conversation a year now. When I say meaningful, just me and him, father and son, talking. You know, it's not like everybody in the living room, this guy talking, this is interrupting. Like, no, just meaningful. So when it comes this October, this is 1 out of 5. It's done. So now I have started taking this more seriously even with my kids. Because my daughter is going to, inshallah, turn 7 soon. And by 17, 18, 19, hopefully, inshallah, by 20, she's married. She's gone. So I have 11, 12 years. Out of that, I have 11 or 12 summers when she's not in school and busy with her activities. Out of those 11 and 12 summers, maybe each summer I'm actually doing 3, 4 quality outing with them. So I have with her 15 maximum quality outings left with her. Literally. So when you put like that, I have 15 quality outings to spend with her. The life changes. Now, what do you do in that 15 quality outings? It's compressed. What's that theory called, Sheikh? Like when it's compressed, the principle, like when you have little time, you actually get more done. I forgot the principle there. You know what I'm talking about? I forgot the name. But now when you know you have 15 quality
Parkinson's
outings.
law.
Yes, Parkinson's, yep. When you know you have 15 quality outings left with your kids, when you calculate that, and it could be less for someone watching right now. Maybe your son is 17 and he's going to join a camp at 18, like he's going somewhere or he's doing internship. Or daughters grow up earlier. When they're 12, 13, they're already like women, right? So there's a lot of conversations, especially as fathers. You're like, man, she's already a woman, right? So we have very few moments. So every moment, we got to make them count.
Sheikh, what makes it even scarier is the unknown element.
Exactly.
Are they even going to live until 20?
Exactly. These are all averages.
Are they even going to live until 15? There was a video that I saw. Wallah, it was shocking. It was basically, there was a guy in Australia. He was a Lebanese Christian. He had, I think, 7 kids. And a drunk driver killed 4 of his children in one go.
Subhanallah.
And he was just telling, how many. And then they ended up meeting the driver and the father of in jail. They met and they spoke and whatnot. But just hearing him just talk about, when he got that phone call, and then he was there, and like the scene. The guy's driving a truck, one of those pickup trucks. And he's flying, going around the corner, and the kids are walking, they're going to the shop, And the 7 of the kids walking, 4 of them killed immediately, 1 brain damage, and the other 2, I can't remember. And 3 of the kids were his, I think, and the other one was a cousin. But they asked him, like, in that moment, did you see the other guy at the scene? He's like, yeah, I did. He goes, did you not want to get revenge? And he was just like, brother, all I could think about was my children. Like, they need me here. I don't know who's still alive, who's dead. There's his body. He was just like, bro, like, you don't even think about revenge in that moment. All you're focused on is that I want to spend every last minute with my kids that are dead, and also the ones that are alive, they need me more. So who knows, man? Our children, our families, how long they got left, Allah alam. So,
and hardest test is bearing your children.
Exactly. So for all we know, we could have one meaningful conversation left.
Exactly.
Being a Muslim entrepreneur who's committed to making hundreds and millions of dollars through his business without compromising his deen, I can tell you this is a very lonely journey. But over the last year, I've realized that I'm not alone. in fact, some of the most sophisticated entrepreneurs are Muslims who fear Allah, and they watch this show. They attend our retreats, and they use their wealth for good. The issue is that they're all scattered. They're all alone. But inshallah, that changes once and for all on September the 6th. Because we're going to be launching our exclusive and powerful circle of Muslims making millions, inshallah ta'ala. If you make millions as an entrepreneur or have at least $10 million in assets through investments, then you qualify to join our waiting list at the link below. P.S. I just want to mention, money isn't the only qualifying factor, but it definitely is the first. So you can register your interest at the link below, inshallah ta'ala, and join the waiting list. With that said, let's get back into the discussion. Barakallah fiik. I think this is a very important reminder to start with, because those of us that are very mission orientated, building things, often neglect our loved ones, right? So I think it's a very important reminder, because we all have big dreams for our children, want them to achieve things, but you have to be there.
Yeah, for sure.
To be present. You have to actually be present in their lives. Barakallah feek. Wadah, what are you trying to raise your children to become?
It's a good question. It's a big question. And for me, I feel like well-rounded is the best, phrase to use.
Mm-hmm.
Education is one thing, academically. Mm-hmm. Wealth is one thing. Creating businesses and hoping that my kids will take over one day is one thing. But in the end, I want to equip them. That's my thing. Because I feel like for us, we're shepherds.
Mm-hmm.
This is our flock.
Mm-hmm.
We don't own them. This is an amana.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So we should treat it as such. You give me something valuable to hold, I'm going to hold it, look after it, clean it, whatever. And then make sure that it's there for you in the same way. So not get lost in, as you said, it's they're your biggest test, So I feel like, we're attempting to build them, build the ecosystem for them to succeed. But also we shouldn't, I try not to give. I try to educate,
What do you mean by that?
So proactively, what I mean by that is give them a bit of struggle, So instead of, it's like delayed gratitude, for example. I'm sure you're familiar with that marshmallow test.
What's the marshmallow test?
Marshmallow test is a Stanford study that they did, where basically they got children and they gave them a marshmallow. And then they give them a period of time. They'll go and come back. If you have the marshmallow, you don't get a second treat. If you can wait, you'll get another treat. And they found that when they restudied these children and they looked at them later on, they found that, and it's not obviously 100%, but they saw that their, for example, SAT grades, BMI, all of these things were actually positive in the ones that were that waited, that were happy to take the, like delayed gratification. So these things, alhamdulillah, in Islam, we already have these concepts. Like sabr is, for me, it's an amazing concept.
That's very important. Like even I was having this conversation with my wife. I was like, not every time she asks for something, we give it,
No way.
Not every time the kid wants something, you give it to them, even if she's done something good.
Sah.
I don't reward her every single time. And sometimes my daughter asks me for something and I absolutely can't do it. But I tell her no, just so she gets used to
exactly
the concept of patience and waiting and delaying gratification. Was this right?
Even just accepting no.
Yeah, accepting no.
Exactly. They're gonna face the harsh truth of the world. So it's better to face it at home.
Give them a taste of it at home.
And develop how they're gonna react to it. Sorry to cut you. One thing I would say is, like, coming from the UK, what I found is, some of my children's friends, they spent the first few years in like a state school, then they go to private schools. So I always used to think, what is it about private schools that was different? Like, why are privately educated people, generally, they do have a certain
advantage.
Not just advantage, but it's their actual personalities. They feel like, they have an edge, and they feel like, like the world owes them this. Like, they're gonna get this. Why is that? When you look at the privately educated, all they do is two things that I see: discipline and confidence. That's what they embed in them. In a state school, they're building you to be a factory worker. As simple as that. Yeah, it's like just by the skin of your teeth, make it and khalas, go into the job market. GCSEs is everything. Khalas, if you don't make it, you're gonna. But in a private school setting, rugby, cricket, this organized sports, martial arts, like you don't even have time to come out of the structure. So therefore you have discipline. That's one. And confidence, they get business leaders from outside to come and speak to you in entrepreneurship classes and IT and whatever. So these two things.
And all the students are from rich families. So when you're going over to see your friend at his house, his dad is
it's normal. It's normalized.
Is an MP or a banker or this or
Success
that.
is normalized. Yeah. But we can take some lessons, like apart from the rich families part, maybe we don't have this legacy of, of wealth. But these, confidence and discipline are two things that we can definitely embed in our children, and it will, inshallah, help in so many aspects.
How do you instill confidence in your children, Abu Bakr?
So, number one, I would say, especially, I'm going to talk in the context of sons, but first and foremost, I would say, because you mentioned this earlier, right, when off the back of his point about being present. I feel like if a son doesn't have a father that's present, that's heavily going to affect his confidence.
Okay.
Son and daughter, by the way.
Son and daughter. You're right. I mean, I'm talking like because I was a son, right?
Sorry.
I was a son. My parents got divorced, so my dad wasn't always fully there. And definitely when my dad was there, let's say it was an assembly or it was a game or something, or it was a play I'm performing at. If I knew my dad was in the crowd,
Got that boost.
I felt, you just feel extra confident.
Sorry.
You just feel like, no matter what happens, even if I get it wrong, it's calm. And so that definitely makes a big difference, the issue of being present. And I also think you have to be very selective with how you praise them, what you praise them for, when you praise them, what you push them into doing. You want them to do things that are at the edge of their ability, that will push them. They will have to struggle to achieve it, but you don't want to do because you don't want to give them things that are too easy. But you also don't want to give them things that are too hard that they actually can't do, and they're going to start thinking, "Rah, I'm just incapable. I can't achieve these things." So those are two things that come to my mind. On the issue of presence, there's a question that I have, right, which is, as entrepreneurs, obviously, we're very busy men. We've got missions in life and we're doing things. What do you guys believe is sufficient presence as a man? And are there different ages where it's like, all right, cool, this age, I don't need to be around as much. Wifey, this age, that's you. I'm going to be out and about more. I'm going to be doing more. But you know what? This age now, I have to be more physically actively present in the home, in his life, or he needs to be with me or she, for example. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Because this is something that because remember, parenting is a thing where I'm not sitting there claiming to be an expert. I'm on a journey.
Learning on the job.
I'm learning on the job, bro. You understand? Like every day I'm learning on the job. And it's a scary thought, because if you get one thing wrong, you might send your child on a trajectory in a direction. So I feel like one extremely important thing is have that mindset as a father. Because I don't care how many books you've read, I don't care how many people you've spoken to, I don't care how much theory you have, my brother, until you're wearing those trousers, you don't know how well you're going to fit them.
On the topic of presence, like you said, when you start and whatnot, like how much, but when you start, let me talk about when you start, because I messed this one up.
Okay.
So I remember I said to my wife from earlier, I said, listen, I said, I'm not really involved until the kid's 5.
5?
Yeah.
Okay, I said 2.
Okay, I said 5.
What was the reason that you
I didn't say
said
as
this?
I
What was this number come from?
Yeah, so my thing was, it was arbitrary.
Yeah, it was arbitrary.
But my theory was, like, bro, the kid don't need me till then.
But sorry, can you just clarify? Because I feel like we might be talking about two different things. When you say I'm not going to be present, what does that mean?
No, okay, I'm not saying I was absent.
Exactly.
But my thing is that, the one-on-one time, the actual, like my thing was, okay, the truth of the matter is, I'm just deep in this now because you asked me that question. I'm actually terrified. I'm actually horrified at the fact that this is what the reality is. What I was saying was the kid's not a priority for me until the kid's 5. That's what I was saying, right? So I will lock in and I will actually start caring and considering the kid 5. Because in my mind, I thought I can't really give the kid anything to the age of 5. And I was completely wrong. So with my daughter, she ended up having some behavioral issues. Again, a lot of them, they say it's because of what COVID and this, that, and the other, because the kid was born during COVID and didn't really, accompany children, this, that, and the other. And,
some social.
Isolated. Yeah. So she had a whole bag of issues, right? And when she turned 5, I remember we were in the UK visiting family, and she was with my nephew, who is over a year younger than her. And I was just looking at the both of them, and I was like, nah, something's wrong. My daughter's not up to speed. Like something's wrong. And I thought, wait, maybe she's got a disability, or maybe she's autistic, or like what's going on? So that was what I needed to just wake up and grab the bull by the horns, because she had turned 5 and it'd been like 2 weeks on that.
SubhanAllah.
And I still hadn't locked in. But Allah was just, it's easy. So I came back here and I got in touch with a clinic. It's called the Speech Clinic, if anyone wants to know. Speech Clinic in a healthcare city here in Dubai. Phenomenal people, man. Wallahi, I thank Allah Azza wa Jalla. After him, I made dua for these people. They did an amazing. You've seen the improvements that she's made.
Bro, SubhanAllah. My friend goes to this clinic.
Same clinic, yeah.
And you know what? His son was diagnosed with autism in the UK. After the speech clinic, they said he didn't have autism to begin with.
But that's so funny, because
it was misdiagnosed.
Even they were telling my wife, in the UK,
can you imagine?
Because at the time I left, right? And my wife was like, maybe I'll put her through the NHS and get her checked out and whatnot. And they were like, autism, seems like she's got autism, keda. When I showed the lady who runs the clinic, I think it's her and her husband, her name's Dr. Sana. I showed her videos of my daughter, and she was like, nah, I don't think she's autistic. And she said, I'll also tell you something. Her strength is going to be reading. Like these type of kids, like this is where they shine. And I actually remember I started crying because, my dad wanted that for me when I was a kid, to just be a reader. And that's what I am. That's one of my identities. Like reading is like, we're ummatu iqra, we're the nation of reading, right? So, without going too deep into that, like great stuff. And even I had a meeting with one of the therapists, and she was like, she's not autistic. I've seen autism. Trust me, she doesn't have it, alhamdulillah. But what I was trying to get at was I completely botched up, right? Why I said 5. Had I clocked this at 4, at 3, by the way, signs were always there. They were always there. But I was like, she'll grow into it. My lack of presence delayed these interventions. And I also go as far as to say something else. One thing I realized, bro, is that even if the kid, can't receive anything of you, and apparently there are studies, a lot of them, about, they sense the dad or something. I don't know. But the main one clearly is the mum at that sort of age. But you need to be there, even if it's not directly for the kid, for the mum. Because I'll tell you something, bro, there's a different level of order and progress in the house when the man is there calling the shots. Look, this is not me putting the women down, bro. They're going through it. They're feeding the kid, cleaning the nappy, not getting sleep. You can't expect her to be rational and reasonable. Like, there's so much I could have done in terms of just making sure that the whole process was optimized if I was locked in from day one. So to answer the first part of your question, I guess I should have just been there from day one.
So I still don't fully understand. When you say been there or I didn't prioritize, like, what does that actually mean? Because look, the way I meant it was, as a man, we make decisions every day. We make decisions in our lives, we make decisions in personal lives, health, fitness, family, relationships, etc. When you're making a decision, there are different variables that are taken into consideration, right? And whichever one has the greatest weight, or whichever one, you see the greatest maslaha to be there, that's the one that you will take. Yeah. So that weight of presence with the child, for me, was up until the age of 2. It was lighter. It wasn't as heavy of it. Like, for example, if I've got a massive business meeting that needs to be done, but for example, a nappy needs to be changed. In that situation, I would choose the meeting. Obviously, it depends. Like I said, different variables. But for me, being present at that age where it's to do with nappies, and of course, bro, if you need to change the occasion nappy, change the occasion nappy. If you need to do, skin to skin time and all that bonding, you do. I'm not saying completely, leave them for years, as in, you go somewhere else, you're in a different country. No. Yeah. I mean, you're still in the home, you're doing your thing, but how much, how heavy is this on your shoulders? For me, the reason why I said 2 is because that's when they start to speak properly, they start to understand the world a little bit more, like around them, what's happening, they're more switched on. Before that, it's kind of they're just extremely dependent. Of course, it's still dependent at 2, but I feel like they're more aware and they'll feel your presence and your absence more from then onwards.
That was my point, but
100%.
for me it was 5.
Okay.
It was 5. But look, what I want to get at, did your question get answered or?
So you mentioned your point. I'm eager to hear what you guys...
Go on, Sheikh. Let's hear.
Sheikh, I think few points here I'll make quickly, inshallah. So basically, I think kids, you asked, and Brother Wadah answered, I mean, what are we trying our kids to become? For me, Sheikh, if it's boys, I'm trying to make kings. And if it's girls, I'm trying to make mothers and wives to the kings. Right? So that's when I think the parenting becomes a little bit different. Right? If it's boys...
Yeah, that's what I want to come to.
Yeah, if it's 100% different because we're trying to make them kings. For example, I recently learned one of the reasons Prophet ﷺ, of course, is all revealed and blessed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but from his life, from his seerah, why he was so politically, like he was a strategist, right? Politically, right? Because when he was between 6 and 8, he was with his grandfather.
Yeah.
Who was his grandfather? Abdul Muttalib. Who is he?
The leader.
He's basically, leader. And he's sitting in front of the Kaaba and everybody's coming with their complaints. And he's solving those complaints.
It's called Darul Nadwa, the place where they used to all... It's like it was the House of Parliament. It was the Congress.
Exactly, Sheikh. And where is Prophet ﷺ at that time? Literally sitting right next to Abdul Muttalib. So that the kids learn more by what's caught than by what's taught. Right, Sheikh? So I think, because sometimes we're like, okay, these are the 10 things I need to teach. More than that, what's important is what they catch us doing. Right? So if a parent is watching right now and they have hard time letting go of listening to music, at least stop listening to it in the car when the kids are there.
Yeah.
Because that's it. You're going to destroy them if they see you listening to music on every ride you're taking.
Or all of that stuff.
Everything, Shah. Because music, I see it common in many parents. They're struggling. They're trying to get rid of it. So in that journey, they're sacrificing the kid to at least first completely cut it off in front of the kids. And if they have seen you, somebody's like, man, they've already seen me playing music. They tell them, Baba just learned, actually, it's horrible. It's haram. I just learned. Just say that we just found out we cannot do it anymore. So as a family, from today, no music in the house. And maybe you're still struggling in private, right? But in front of the kids, they have to catch you doing it. Everything that you're trying to instill, they have to catch you doing it.
This point is very important, right? So one of the reasons I moved out of the UK, because I saw the effect that this had on my brother's eldest daughter, because he moved here when he had her. And subhanAllah, just her being here very shortly, bro, it's like she memorized the adhan just by hearing it. And I started to realize that subhanAllah, these children are a blank sheet of paper. And bro, whatever you give that sheet of paper, it will hold it. And I want to be in charge of what gets put on that sheet. So I'm saying in the UK, I can't control it. Here I can. So subhanAllah, it's to the point where my daughter, bro, okay, cool. I go to the masjid when the adhan happens, right? My wife will hear the adhan. She might be in the middle of cooking. She might be in the middle of doing something, maybe even feeding the kid. And then she's going to go pray, right? And my daughter will talk, Mama, why haven't you prayed? Do you get me? Mama, go pray. Do you know what I'm saying? And bro, she's been praying with my wife since the age of 3 because that's all she's seen. You said kids, was it?
They learn by what's caught, not by what's taught.
And another way I heard it, which really impacted me years ago, was children don't listen with their ears, they listen with their eyes.
Yes, absolutely. Same thing, Sheikh.
They listen with their eyes. So, barakallah feek, man. So,
which also expresses the importance of presence. Because if you're not there,
exactly.
The eyes won't
There's
see
nothing
anything.
to see.
Exactly.
My sheikh actually mentioned to me, he prays, he wasn't trying to show off, he was just mentioning as a state of it. The only time he ever mentioned this to me was when he was teaching me a lesson in parenting. So he prays Qiyamul Layl every single night, right? And he just prays it every night and he hasn't left it for decades,
No.
He said, you know how I started? He said, when I was 8, I woke up one day in the middle of the night to use the toilet and I saw my dad praying tahajjud.
Oof.
Because my dad never once in my life told me to pray. I just saw him do it.
That's it.
And that's it.
So powerful.
Yeah, locked in. So definitely how you behave. Since we started making content for righteous and rich entrepreneurs, I've gotten so many messages from brothers who've been inspired and want help making money online. They're hungry for financial freedom so they can seek knowledge, do hijrah, and live life on their terms with Allah's permission. But here's the truth. I can't help you. I personally only work with 7 to 9 figure entrepreneurs. With that said, there is one one brother that I trust more than anyone else that helps beginners start their online businesses with Allah's permission. In fact, I've sent him dozens of brothers already, and time again, he's helped them make consistent money online. Look, I have a lot to lose by putting my name behind someone I don't have full confidence in. But this brother, I've vetted him and his team and his method. I trust him with Allah's permission. Which is why I'm ready to risk my 10-year plus reputation on telling you this brother, he will help you make money online, inshallah ta'ala. So if you're interested, go to the link below and you can apply for his mentorship. With that said, let's get back into the discussion. But you said you want to raise your children to be kings.
Sons.
Or your sons to be kings, and your daughters to be the wives and the
Mothers to the
mothers
kings.
of kings.
I like how you didn't say queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
know
waiting.
what?
Yeah,
That's so
subhanallah.
powerful.
Allahumma
Wait,
barik.
why did you not say queen? Is that intentional?
Yeah, intentional. It was
Yeah, of course
purposeful.
it's
Yeah.
intentional.
Why?
That's so profound.
That's Sheikh Allah stuff. Because queen gives you the position and the authority and the power, like the Queen of England. But you're wife to the king.
Allahu Akbar.
This is very powerful. Like I actually had to. I remember. I think my daughter was like. It was when we had just moved here, and I said to my wife, "I want to put her into gymnastics." Right? It's like a random thing. You wouldn't be like, "Why?" And I was like, "Bro, I'm raising this girl to be another man's wife." You know what I'm saying? And I know one thing that brothers struggle with is that they're trying to find girls that are in shape. Do you know what I'm saying? They know how to look out for themselves.
Right.
So I was like, bro, it's my job as a father to ensure that I teach my
100%,
daughter
100%.
bro, how to look out for, like how to be. Do you know what I'm saying?
Not eat junk food and all that.
Yeah, not eat junk food and not eat to be healthy and all that. But look, being a wife, being a mum, cool. But where is this concept of kings coming from and mothers and wives to kings? I'm just trying to understand, because most people won't say that. You ask most guys, you won't say, I want my kid to be a king. You know, and I notice and I find this around people that are big, high on impact, high achievers. And it's not necessarily just people with wealth. It's people with high goals and aspirations. Even, you know, I remember you were one time surprised by the way I speak with Yusuf, which is obviously his son. And it's because of something that my sheikh said to me. He said to me, speak to every child like he can be tomorrow's sultan.
Yep.
Like he can be the king tomorrow. Because when you speak to kids like that, you elevate them. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but I have my reasons for why I resonate with that. But why did you come up with that as a goal for your children?
Sheikh, because I met so many young brothers throughout my life, even brother a little bit older in their late 30s, in their 40s. They have completely missed the mark. They have not achieved their potential. And one of the core reasons being because of trouble in the household, because of not having a right wife. So we have missed many kings. I could see kings in them, but they have not become the kings because they're facing lots of issues and dilemmas from the household. So to solve that problem, to make sure our younger brothers who are watching this, for them to become king, Sheikh, we need to produce people who could be the right supporting cast.
Yeah.
And if you look at history, everybody, all the sultans and kings from the Islamic history, from the non-Islamic history, the successful ones, most of them had great supporting cast. And that supporting cast includes having the right wives at home, you know, having the right viziers or, you know, advisors. So all of that counts. So we have to produce that so everybody can become the supporting cast for the hero, for the king. And it's not possible without the king, and it's not possible for the king without the right supporting cast.
But why king? Why not supporting cast for you know, the knight or the rook or the pawn? Why supporting cast for the king?
So Sheikh, king does not necessarily mean you're the number one in your organization. King means you're number one within your potential. In your position, you're the number one. What you could do, you're doing it to the best of your ability. So king does not necessarily mean the guy sitting on the pyramid on the top. The king means like I'm the shepherd. So in my flock, I'm doing the best possible job. I'm the best shepherd that is possible of me to become.
And that's how the greater change comes.
Yeah.
We don't believe in this trickle-down theory.
No,
This is some
no.
Western thing. We believe in from the
Yeah,
ground.
thanks for
grassroots.
clarifying about it. So I didn't mean the king of like statesmen. Yeah, king of, if I'm an if I'm an employee, if my son is an employee, I want him to become an entrepreneur. It's better sometimes to be the second man of Elon Musk than being a first guy in a grocery shop, honestly, right?
Yeah, of
So
course.
I want him to be the best of his version.
Absolutely.
So, my name is Imran. Names are very important, right?
Nice meeting you, Sheikh.
Pleasure.
The reason I say this is because names are very important.
Yeah,
Because
so-
people have your names.
Yep.
Great people before you have your names. Your names have meanings, and it has a huge impact. So for me, I was very inspired by the family of Imran. Right? The family of Imran. Allah Azza wa Jalla mentions we chose the family of Ibrahim and the family of Imran over the families of the rest of mankind. And the family of Imran, there's stories of 2 children that were born from that family in the Quran. 3, sorry. There's Maryam, who then gave birth to Isa, and then there's Yahya, right, the son of Zakaria. And you see in both the parents made dua to have children. When I say both, Maryam and Yahya, because they wanted children to give in Allah's path. They wanted the kids to do something for Allah. So the mother of Maryam, who was the wife of Imran, she said, "Inni nadartu laka ma fi batani muharraran fataqabbal minni." She said, "Ya Allah, I have vowed to you, and I have given to you, I have vowed to you that which is inside of my stomach. I vowed it to you, Ya Allah. Muharraran fataqabbal minni, accept it from me, Ya Allah." She wanted a child that she can give in Allah's path that could change the situation of the people at the time.
Have an impact.
Yeah, because if you look historically speaking, at that time, Banu Israel had just been occupied by the Romans, and there was calamity and fitna. They wanted to have an impact on society, right? And that's why when she thought she was going to have a son, and when she had a daughter, she was very upset, right? She said, "Inni wada'tuha untha." I've given birth to a daughter, Ya Allah. Allah said, "Wallahu a'lam bima wada'at. وَلَيْسَ الذَّكَرُ كَالْأُنْثَى." Allah said, Allah knows what you've given birth to. And the girl is not like the boy. I said, there's unique specialties that each one has, right? And we know the khair that came from Maryam. She was the mother of a king.
Yep.
Right? Not literally, but
Yep. Of
Prophet
course,
Isa
yes.
alayhi salam, of a leader.
Yep.
Right? I mean, look,
One of the mightiest
I
messengers.
don't need to explain what Isa alayhi salam is here. So the point is that shows the importance of daughters, you know. The daughters we're not raising our daughters to be on the pedestal. We're not raising them to be giving the speeches and to be the CEO of the boardroom. No, but we're raising them to become those that produce and support that, as you said. So she became that support of Isa alayhi salam. The second example I mentioned here, and that's why, I'll be honest, I've never really cared whether Allah gave me a son or a daughter, but now I ask Allah for a son for this reason. So I can have both. I've got this and I want that now. Zakaria alayhi salam, when he became very, very old, and he saw that he's a prophet and he's going to die soon, and he can see that there's no one to give the task of prophethood to. Like, remember, Musa alayhi salam trained Yusha ibn Nun after him, right? Like, you know, as a CEO, you have a succession plan.
Yes, exactly.
Right? So there were succession plans. He's like, I have no one that I can pass prophet, like I can ask Allah to pass prophethood on to. So he literally made dua. He said, "Yarithuni min ali Yaqub." He said, "Ya Allah, give to me an heir from the family of Yaqub. Give to me a son." And the reason he did this is because so that he can become a prophet, so that he could change the world. So even I had this conversation with my wife. I said, "Listen, we're the family of Imran." I don't mean that.
Yes,
As
of
in,
course.
I'm Imran.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying? And this is the legacy that we have. So we made a vision for our family. We said we want to have children that are going to change the world. Our kids are going to change the world. We're raising them to be the pinnacle of what you can be in terms of what the ummah needs. So then we make values. What are our family values, right? What are rules? What are some rules that we do our best to abide by? I remember just going through that activity with my wife. Actually, you know, I was having this conversation with my brother earlier. He's a great entrepreneur, Allah Barik. He's doing crazy things right now. He's a young man, and he was talking about how there's that growing gap between him and his wife. So even I've had that. Like, my wife just doesn't seem like we're on the same wavelength. Me asking her and having this conversation was enough for her to be like, we have to change so much about what we do right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Give them a vision. So the reason I share this with people is because, wallahi, man, your kids are going to become a proof for you or against you. Do you know what I'm saying? And, you know, subhanAllah, I don't know. I never saw the concept of children just for the sake of kids. Like, I've always, because of my name, Imran, I guess maybe, and I've been hearing these stories, you know, since I started practicing.
No.
Like, I've always just wanted kids to change the world, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's going to come from Allah, but that vision, I think, is very important.
And I think it ties back into what Wadah mentioned earlier, which is you're just there to give them the tools. Because who knows, bro, in 30, 40, 50 years' time, when it's their time, well, what's the world going to look like? I don't know. What's the greatest need for the ummah going to be? I don't know. Is it going to be an academic need? Maybe there's going to be an academic. Maybe there's going to be a physical need that they're going to have to go do something. Maybe whatever it is, a spiritual need. Maybe they need to be people that just worship. And I don't know what the future is going to hold. So I need to make them well-rounded in all the different areas. I need to give them as much information and skills so that when the time comes, they're able to make the right choices that they need to make in life and have that biggest impact, as you said, which will inshallah change the world.
So let's bring it back to you, because we're talking, since you mentioned the well-rounded thing, and I wanted to ask you, because even me, akhi, Allah barik, I'm very impressed with like there are things in life that we need just to be optimal, right? We need health, academics, intelligence, deen. You seem to be doing that pretty well with your children, Allah barik. So what do you mean when you say well-rounded?
You know, the brothers mentioned so many important points, Allahumma barik, all of you. But even when I'll just touch on one point that you mentioned, Brother Sam, is that when you asked him about why king, for example, I believe that it's based on his aspirations or your aspirations to make an impact. If you want to make an impact in a certain way, you obviously want your son or daughter, you know, to even take over and do more. Like, for example, if I know a specific part of the Quran, for example, I want my son to do better than me. Yeah. So if he wants to make this impact in business or whatever, every type of way, and he's seeing himself as a king, of course, his son it's only right that he wants his son to be the king. In all the ways that you mentioned. In terms of the all like well-rounded, I think it's important also to say that for me personally, my experiences, my kids have helped me become well-rounded. Oh, wow. So as an example, when you said health, nutrition, these things, I wasn't really the most, active in that kind of sector. As soon as we had children and you start to identify like this amana is real. Whatever I put into this amana, food, whatever, there's so many, so much impact. So then you start to go down these rabbit holes of education. What am I letting them hear, see, eat, drink? And naturally, as a Muslim, when you start to look at the evidences and the advice and what we already had, is based upon just keeping it natural. What's already there, what Allah has already put for us, and not to overdo it. So whether that means pulling them away from school to give them a more basic education. So yes, they have the English, math, science, of course, but put that importance on the ibadah, the deen, the akhlaq. These things are very important.
What are some things you teach your kids that they wouldn't learn at school? And I mean from like a curriculum perspective.
Martial arts is the main one, to be honest, because that has so many different aspects in terms of discipline, in terms of, being punctual, so many different things. It embeds it naturally within them.
What age did you get them started?
From my son is 10, turning 11. He started from about 8. My daughter also, but obviously she'll get to a point where it won't be suitable maybe for her to do these things. But alhamdulillah, the main thing is that you show them, as you said, rather than tell them. My son always reminds me of this. If I tell him something that I'm doing myself, he'll pull me up straight away, which is really important. I feel like, as you said, you speak to them as if they're the next sultan or what may be. I speak to my son the same way I'm speaking to you. He can sit in this room and he'll hold his own.
So important, this point, Sheikh, because we have to start treating our children like adults from very early on, because there's a decline. People conquered cities when they were 18-year-old, 19-year-old,
Exactly,
21-year-old.
exactly.
Now talk to a 21-year-old guy. He's yawning. He cannot keep attention. He's looking at his phone, looking
صح.
around. Like, what's happening? That's why we need to bring it back. We need to start. And one way to do it, we need to start treating them like adults from very early on. Like, I treat my 4-year-old like an adult. Like, my conversations are completely like a conversation I would have with an adult. Like, and the way it's small things, you're like, you don't even have to plan it. Like, you just talk to them what's on your mind. Like, I would talk with Ustad Imran if I'm meeting him. Like, this is what's happening on my mind. So, for example, even it goes with the thing about being present. Sometimes we have to blend things in. For example, like, I choose to drop them to school. That's my time, even though somebody else could have done it. I could pay someone to do it. Like, there's so many options to do it, but I choose to, because then I take that time, like spending quality time with that, being present. So every day, every morning, you don't feel like, okay, I'm going to teach them a lesson, but I have like a curriculum planned. Like, these are the things I'm going to have, conversation with them. Either it's just simple as memorizing a dua that's practical, like, asking for, from Allah that, Allah save us from poverty. We seek refuge from poverty. So, so making it interesting and things like that. But even if not deep conversations, I tell them what I'm going through right now, as if I'm talking to an adult. So I tell them, do you feel like Baba is a little bit down today? And my daughter was like, yeah, Baba, you don't have as much energy. So it's like, that's what men are supposed to do. Even if I don't have energy, I have to show up, so I just start having a conversation, and then I tell them, but you, as a daughter, you sometimes have the option. Like, if you don't feel like it, sometimes I don't feel like it. But as a man, I don't have that option. It doesn't matter how I feel. I have to show up. I have to drop you to school, even though I did not have sleep. So, like, whatever is on your mind, you start having that conversation. Now, when she goes out, alhamdulillah, Mubarak, and she has these conversations, people are like, what? It's like talking like an adult. Because I completely talk, I don't filter anything. Like, I talk to her, what's on her mind, as if I'm talking to Brother Abu Bakr, Ustad Imran, Brother Wadah. Like, same way, I'm just like discussing what's in my mind. This is happening, that's happening, but I'm dealing with it. I'm trying this. So we have to start talking to them like an adult.
Because of the unfortunate decline in the level of people in general this day and age, we really underestimate, man, what kids are capable of.
100%.
Just because
100%.
the majority of them are unfortunately addicted to, screens and sugar and all these things, and that no doubt affects their behavior. Don't think your child is like that. And don't, because otherwise
they will become like
that. It's be before you become.
Yes,
exactly.
It's how you treat them is how they will turn out. And it's not like some weird manifestation thing that we believe. No, this is real life. This is what will happen. If you treat them like an adult, they'll start talking like an adult. And you're absolutely right. People around will start like, whoa, like, this child's very advanced. Like, what happened to him? No, we just treat him like we treat him as if he's like that, and he will then pick up those.
I even talk about rejections in life. This investor rejected me. I share like everything that's happening. So it's like you're spending quality time. Plus, you're actually there's so many things it serves, and they're growing, alhamdulillah, like rapidly because they're hearing like real life stuff. What's happening?
100%.
And one thing, Sheikh, in terms of confidence, you asked. One thing I think for our sons, even for our daughters when they're early on, it's very important to encourage them to become like social. Very important. Like, they're social. They're not like, if they see strangers, they're like, reserved, timid. No. So, no, you talk, you say, and especially, alhamdulillah, in Dubai, in UAE, it's safe. Alhamdulillah. So it's not like UK and Detroit, like, you don't know who you're talking to.
I'll give you an example. So I took my daughter and nieces out yesterday, and we went to get some dessert, and
sounds like a fun trip, Sheikh.
Say that again?
Sounds like a fun trip. Yeah. I think he enjoyed more than the daughter and the nieces.
Abu Bakr left me. And when he left me, it became very hard.
Yes,
I told you, I'm the guy that struggles.
Nothing without your wingman.
The wing woman, nothing. But basically, so one of my nieces, she was like, I can hear background noise in the kitchen. Is someone there? I was like, ask the lady at the counter.
Yeah.
She was like, where's the lady? So the lady comes back in and she's acting all shy. And I said, bro, ask. You have a question, ask. And the lady was like, oh, yes. No, sorry. So first she asked the question and the lady didn't understand what she said. That can make a person also feel unconfident. I said, repeat the question, bro.
Yeah.
And she repeated the question.
I call her bro,
I call her bro. It's a bad habit.
he's moving with the new generation. Boy, girl, it's all the same.
Even sometimes my daughter knows my brother. But it's wrong. Astaghfirullah. But basically, she was like, is someone in the back? And then the lady's like, oh yes, there is. It's the chef. He's the one who made what you're just eating. My point is that little things like
course.
that. We had a podcast and discussed. That's what my dad did with me. I was 8. My dad sent me to speak to the president of Kenya.
Yeah,
So go chat to the guy. Introduce yourself. I was like, Dad, what do you mean?
Mambo, VP.
Yeah. He told me to pull up on him. Introduce yourself to him.
Allahumma
So
barik.
I had to go for paparazzi and just say, hey, hello, sir. My name is Imran.
so important.
Yeah.
Doing that.
But you know what? There is a fine line, I feel.
Go on.
Because for me, personally, I've had situations where one thing I wouldn't do is what I've seen maybe the previous generation do is also force interactions.
Oh yes,
That
becomes
is
awkward
dangerous
sometimes. Yeah,
and it's dangerous
Yeah.
because Allahu Alam, bro. There are abusers that could be even within.
Oh yeah, 100%. It has to be a very controlled environment.
And the older generation.
Yeah.
Oh no, go to your uncle and
Yeah,
go
no,
to
no,
hug
yeah,
your
none of
thing.
that.
that's
Yeah.
unhealthy.
Listen, my daughter sometimes, if they're away now for months, for example, for weeks, sometimes she doesn't want to speak on the phone.
To you.
Yeah, even to me. She
Right.
just doesn't want to speak. She doesn't want to speak on the camera.
MashaAllah, it's very good.
Very
Shyness.
good. Yeah. Obviously, her mom is like, no, speak to Baba, whatever. But I'm like, no, leave her. It's fine. I know she's healthy. Alhamdulillah, she's good, and that's it.
Allah, better.
I never ever. Once, subhanallah, this is subhanallah, Allahu alam, what the kind of bigger meaning could be. But I like to listen. Yeah, whether it's to my body, to my kid, whatever. I like to listen to something happening. My eldest, we were in the masjid. He was very young at the time. I was inquiring about some classes for them, for him to start. He was very young. Went into the masjid, and Allahumma barik, from he was my firstborn, he's super social. Like to the point where it's like dangerous. You just leave him with anybody, he's gone.
Is Nooni,
No
huh?
crying. No, this is Yasin,
Oh, Yasin.
my eldest. Yunus is the youngest.
Oh, Yunus the youngest.
Yunus, Allahumma barik, is
So they named
more
the
than
bit-
social. He's
They named the business after him?
he gave himself that name, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he gave himself the name Nooni.
Oh,
That's his
really?
nickname that
Oh,
he
very
gave. So we just went with it.
His
Yunus.
kids have a business, bro.
Yeah,
They make
alhamdulillah.
natural...
Everything.
What do you call it? Sanitizing product?
No, soap, deodorant, toothpaste,
Yeah.
everything.
Oh, I have it right here, bro.
Yeah,
So
of
I use his
He's a
products,
subscriber.
Let me show you. This is the real.
Share it, brother. We'll all
Lala, for
subscribe
sure,
and
for sure.
encourage our
Bro,
next generation, man.
This is the realness, bro. I told my wife everything. I said, forget this poison toxin stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I saw two over
Yeah,
there.
yeah. This is toothpaste.
That was your.
This toothpaste is deodorant,
Allahumma
bro.
barik, mashallah.
Yeah,
There you go,
yeah.
brother.
All
You're
natural.
doing something definitely right, man. Allahumma barik.
11-year-old, 8-year-old kids are
Allahumma
running the
barik.
business.
Even Nooni, he's 3, but he's
Even
he's
Nooni's
there.
involved?
Yeah. He has his tower. You know the tower that they stand on the tower. He comes. If I'm making eggs, he has to come and be
That's what I'm
involved.
saying. Like, you can't expect, like, as in, there's a guy, Alam Barak, who's raising his kids that are producing products that a grown man is using and promoting to 320,000 odd subscribers.
Next time they'll come and negotiate
Allah
an
barik.
affiliate.
Yeah, honestly, I'm saying Allah
Click the link in the bio.
No, but first, everyone say Allah Barik.
Allahumma barik,
What I'm just trying to say,
Allahumma barik.
honestly, everyone say Allah Barik. What I'm trying to say is that contrast this with what you're doing with your kids.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? This has come back to the point
Leaving them in
about
front of
potential.
cocoa
cocoa bloody melon, bruv.
melon.
Then they become cocoa
Subhanallah.
melon. Do you understand?
You mentioned the masjid.
Sorry.
Yeah, so anyway, the story is that, we went to the masjid speaking, and as I said, he was super social, but in this instance, he didn't want to even come into the room to the point where he was wailing, like crying profusely. He was, he's a tantrum. So I said, subhanallah, I left the place, yeah, just because I wasn't going to say, no, come and speak to the shaykh. It was just, he didn't feel, there was something. Allah gives kids something, because they can't speak at the time,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
example.
yeah,
So
yeah.
Allah has to give them tools
Yeah.
to protect themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not going to be the one to just force and this and whatever. But I say that to say that we have to also ensure that there is that fine
Balance.
line. Yeah, there is that balance. Because what I realized is, one thing with, alhamdulillah, having kids in multiple ages is that especially women, the wives will be like trying to mold kids. Yeah. Even they're trying to mold us sometimes, yeah. In like, that's what their fitrah is, yeah. Is to nurture and to like, I want to make him better and I want to make her this and whatever. But what I realized is, as a man, as the dad, is that we don't need to do none of that. These kids will be what they will be, regardless, yeah. And whether it's good, bad, ugly, we're not going to dictate that. That's for Allah. All we can do is make that ecosystem where you're just setting up the perfect
conditioning, basically.
That's it.
The environment.
That's
Yeah.
it. The rest you have to leave up to Allah and like happily leave it. Not just, not try and put too much input. Whether he likes cricket or football, it's nothing to do with me.
Just before we jump back into the podcast, I need to share something with you that's been weighing heavy on my heart for a few years. For years, you guys have asked me, is there a real way to make massive, passive wealth without touching riba? And truth be told, I didn't have a good answer for you. Most options available just seem like riba that's been rebranded as halal mortgages. And if the option is halal, then it's usually too risky, too scammy, or too slow. And then I came across Brother Sam Amin, who has $100 million of Muslim investor money invested in real estate. And this blew my mind. Here we have a guy who's helping people become multimillionaires through investing in real estate without riba. When I heard about it, I didn't jump on the opportunity straight away. I actually investigated it and I observed the brother for over a year. I met his investors that have made millions on the back of investing with him. One of his investors actually is an uncle who had humble savings that now have compounded into $7 million plus, Allah barik, in just a few years. His deal structure is actually amazing. You enter into a joint venture with him and his team manage it 100%. Within 2 years, you're expected to receive a 50% return on your investment, Allahumma barik, and there's no haram. It honestly got really emotional for me because we now have a vehicle that doesn't compromise your deen, nor does it compromise your ambition. So that's why I felt compelled to share this good news with you. So look, if you're serious about wealth creation and you have at least $100,000 liquid ready to invest and deploy within 30 days, and you want your money to move, you want it to multiply without any haram, then Sam's newest development project here in Dubai might just be your ticket to generational wealth. Now, if this appeals to you, it's important that you know that over $5 million has already been committed to this fund. And this round is going to be closing very soon, inshallah. I've placed the link to apply to invest in his fund in the description of this video below. Alhamdulillah, this opportunity is real, and so is the window. With that said, let's get back into the podcast.
It's true, bro. I used to say to myself, my youth's never going to play football. And now I'm thinking, maybe.
No, but then you think, why do you even care?
Yeah. You're right.
You know?
I shouldn't.
My interest shouldn't be their interest.
You're right.
Exactly.
Ourselves.
Yeah.
You're
Like,
right.
sometimes your wife will say, let's do this because she will like it.
Exactly.
No, let's do it because you like it.
Exactly. Or she's trying to like impose something on, no, because then so he can learn it. No.
I'll give you an
He's not
example,
interested,
right?
he's
So
not
one thing
interested.
I noticed in my daughter, which I could never have imagined in a million years, but she's really good at art.
Allahumma
Which is
barik.
like, to me, it's like the biggest joke growing up. Like, who cares about art? Even though Sammy, mashallah, makes great thumbnails. So logos, Allah barik. But you kind of think that's not really something with as much utility, right? Bro, I noticed, like I told you, with all her behavioral issues and being a bit slow at the beginning, bro, she would make through her puzzles like a cat. Like she got these magnets. This is like when she was 3, to the point where I said to my wife, "You did that. Don't lie to me."
It couldn't have
And
been
I
her.
swear by Allah, I didn't
Allahumma
believe my
barik.
wife.
So that's a very good skill, by the way.
Yeah, bro. That-
Very good skill. Allah
she can see something once and then she'll make it. But one time she made a dragon. Firstly, I don't know who taught a dragon. My wife didn't see a dragon. But bro, she'll go and make it. And there's the tail and everything and the teeth. And bro, the cat one was the one that was a masterpiece. Then she'll be like, this is a snake cat. And it's like a combination. So then I contacted Sammy straight away, who's our
creative.
graphic designer, our creative director. And I said, bro, you might have to do something for my kid here. Like, just... And that was me basically taking from a page out of what you're saying in your book, which is that encourage what they already have. Because like you said,
Yes.
all of these are skills upon which you can build so many
Exactly.
things later.
Exactly.
I'm saying, like, if you try to force your kid to bypass whatever Allah has given him to build something
never
else as a
gonna work.
foundation,
It's never gonna
not
work.
going to be the same.
No.
Because look, Sami now, Allah, but he went from a guy that was drawing friggin' anime, which obviously without the eyes and stuff, to now being a creative director, to having an
Allahumma
agency. So it's like so much more can come from it, but you got to give them
The environment.
the environment, but you got to encourage them in what.
And you know what?
they
Build
have.
on their strength.
Yeah,
Yeah.
subhanAllah, exactly. Build on their strength. Like my son,
Yeah.
he loves cars. Both of my sons.
Yeah.
I have zero interest in cars. Literally, I couldn't tell you what's in there, nothing. Yeah.
It's to hang out with Yusuf, Allah. But
Allahumma back. He knows even my 3-year-old to the point now, Eunice, is every single car make, the Chinese car make, he will know what car it is by the headlights. This is this car, this. Subhanallah, this is their interest. So when I see this, I'll develop it. I'll take him go-karting in Sharjah,
Yes.
take him to the F1 in the UK, just so that he can experience and see, wow, you know, like there is no limit. And this is another thing in terms of confidence, because you're developing what they like, not dictating
100%.
what they have to like. Doesn't make any sense.
100%.
You know, it's like,
I think there has to be an element of dictating, though. Again,
it's a strong word.
No, as in-
Dictating is a strong word.
That's what you said. No, but earlier, you didn't say it has to be exclusively this. You said it has to be a balance. And there's a
Yeah,
fine line.
100%.
Like, for example,
But dictating
I'll give you an example.
is a strong.
So maybe I'm wrong here. You guys feel free to push
But
back.
sometimes there has to be dictation with you and your children.
I think we might be using different
no,
words. so I
what,
wanna give an
talking
example.
about interests.
No, I'm not talking about interest. Yeah, interest. Like, for example, for
dictating
me,
interest is a bit.
for me, every kid in my life has to read.
Nah.
And I'm going to, as in, like yesterday, when I met my niece and she told me, listen, the problem, I said, I'm not even believing these kids when they say it. Like, I have to verify with their parents. And it's true. She's like, Taya, which means, you know, old, like your dad's older brother. She's like, I finished BFG, Danny the Champion. You know, I finished Matilda. All these things. I'm baffled. Like, right, okay, Allah bet it. Then I started looking at her sister and I made her feel bad for it. Her younger sister. I was like, so
Bad
what are
for
you
what?
reading? For not reading. So what are you reading? I'm reading this. Read the book, bro. Do you get me? Like, that's for me. Like,
You know what? I've got personal experience with this.
Yeah.
So my
You know, I feel like
my
I was wrong.
eldest, my eldest is a,
So he's just talking like
yeah, I said read
I
the
can
book.
imagine you.
Yeah,
no, my eldest is a bookworm to the point where literally I was just speaking to him the
Allah
other
barik.
day. Allahumma barik. And he was, so I've told him there's no books at the dinner table. Can't eat and read. Yeah, this
Oh,
habit
wow.
is
That's
like, to
Allahumma
that point,
barik. That's
he's
really-
literally like, you know, he can't focus. I'm like, no, you're not allowed.
Wow,
Yeah?
Allahumma
So
barik.
now that they've
Allahumma
gone away,
barik.
I'm not there. So then he's picked up the habit again. So I'm speaking to him. I said, listen, you can't. Food time is food time. You can read it after. Yeah, Allahumma barik. His sister now, she doesn't. She reads, but she's not. It's not the same interest. But what she excels at, the same thing, the art thing. Yeah, nobody's in our immediate family, wife and children, that is kind of into art. Really. Yeah, she has a different level of imagination.
Allahumma barik.
Allahumma barik. Yeah, she makes things out of nothing. Yeah, so that's something that she's excelling at that my son is not. So why would I? I'm not gonna dictate it, because again, I'm trying to fit this square piece into a circle mold. It's not gonna fit.
What about, like, for example, you mentioned martial arts. Let's just say your son, when he tried it, he was like, I really don't like this, Dad.
That's different though. It's not an interest.
Martial arts, isn't it?
No, it's not an interest.
What would you
So
class
even
that
with
as?
That's
reading,
discipline.
they all read though, but one you're saying
No, but
reads more.
interests
Like
can...
to the point where like all day, every day, he's
Yeah, so-
finishing books like on a 2 days down.
I used to be like that when I was very young.
Allahumma barik. And I never used to be like this, by the way.
No one pushed me into it. It's something that I
Exactly,
developed.
exactly.
myself.
You can't love something being pushed into it. I don't believe.
My dad pushed me into it and I love it. Well,
It took a while though, isn't it?
Say that again?
It took a while.
It took like 20 years, but wallahi.
But maybe then, even if he hadn't pushed you, you still would have...
Exactly.
In 20 years' time,
exactly.
you yourself would
No,
have fallen in
no,
love with
no,
it.
can I say something? I'm telling you, bro. It was even when I came back to it, it was from what my, like, for example, something that my dad's been telling me to do, which took another 10 years, yeah? So 30 years, is to read novels. My dad's been telling me, Imran, I'm telling you there's benefits in novels you don't understand. Don't
Sah.
always read non-fiction.
Sah.
Trust me, because it develops your thinking, develops your...
Vocabulary. even.
Vocabulary, yeah, that's a huge
Everything,
one.
right?
Sah.
It's not even that, bruv. You know these novels that are written, especially like by Charles Dickens and Jane Austen. But these guys, they didn't have technology and all that was confused. They understood humans. So the way they write, but they're characterizing human behavior in such a way, bruv. Like it's so deep. Like it's hard to even explain. So point being is, it's funny because I started reading Pride and Prejudice. You know,
I heard of it. I haven't read it.
yeah, bro. It's a romance novel,
Yeah,
but bro, it's deep. Like even the way they talk about it, it's like they're writing a rom-com, like in like early 2000s. But point being is that I only went to that, bro, because my dad was telling me. It just took him a while to keep telling me, and now I see the benefit in it. So, and I would have never done it. I would have never done it, bro.
I'll tell you guys a funny story. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, Sheikh, you go ahead first.
Mine's not a benefit, it's just a funny story.
No, go ahead, Sheikh.
I'm filling in for Zariri today.
Someone needs to be here.
So I told you I was a bookworm.
Yeah.
I love my books, bro. Like I'm saying, bro, any second I can get,
Subhanallah.
I'm reading these fat books as well. There's one, it was a book series called Aragon. It was about like a boy and he gets a dragon. And I used to just read purely novels, no non-fiction, all just
Even as a
novels,
kid,
and
I would only read,
science fiction and all this. And I remember I was reading, there was a book, it was the third book, and it's a fat, chunky book. My dad got it for me as a present. I really wanted it. Yeah, I'm reading it. And I used to get lost in the books. So I remember one time, my mum must have been calling me from the kitchen, But I'm just in my book. I'm just like, not even intention. I'm just ignoring it. Yeah. But she must say something. I must have said, I must have said something back. I don't even remember. All I know is I must step back, come into the room, grabbed the book, and he ripped it up. And he's like, bro, like your mum's been trying to call you for this. And I don't know. Maybe I said something without even realizing it. I was disrespectful to my mum, like while I was just lost in the book. And I remember I was so upset. I was so angry, bro. That night, everyone went to sleep. I snuck into the bathroom where he used to hang his jeans. I went to his wallet. Took out a little £20. I got £10, £20, I can't remember what it was. Because those books were expensive.
Yeah.
I went to my jacket. I used to have like an inner pocket here, and the inside, just put the £20 in there, looked out, and went back to sleep. Woke up the next morning, ran out, and my mum asks me, she goes, Saeed, he's lost £20. Like, have you seen it or anything? I was like, no. She's like, oh, okay. She went back to the kitchen. So as I've seen, she's gone to the kitchen, and I thought, quickly go check my jacket and make sure it's all there.
Still there.
Went to the jacket, lock it quietly. I'm just making sure no hair out. You know, the zip is running mad slowly. Put my hand inside, it's empty. I feel a tap on my shoulder.
Oh my!
I turn around, my mum's standing there with a 20 in her hand.
Allah.
I was like, Mum, you know, she was like, why'd you do that? I said, you ripped my book and I want to go buy a new one. Like,
it's a refund.
Compensation, like. And she said, no, we can't steal and this and that. Blah, blah. That's how much I was into it, bro.
It's so
like,
funny. Man became a thief.
Man said, I would have thief.
Allah.
His bookworms and his book thieves.
Bro,
I thought you were going to say you cut up his jeans or something.
Cut up his jeans.
That's what I thought.
I thought he was going to cut the note.
Then I thought it was going to be
But
the
he
note.
wanted the book.
No, I wanted the book. Man. I wanted to finish it, man. I wanted to know what happened next.
That's a true interest, though. You know, stuff like that. When I see it in my kids, that brings so much joy.
You know what? I get more what you're saying now. I think I kind of misunderstood your point. I do understand what you're saying.
Yeah, so to go back to martial arts,
the difference between
like jiu-jitsu, for example. So for me, the example is why I will push my son to go. So when I was young, I joined the air cadets. Yeah, I wanted to be a pilot. This is what my dream was. I didn't live with my dad. He lived abroad, and so I joined the air cadets in secondary school. Really good. They'll take you on trips. We flew actual gliders.
Yeah.
Imagine we're like 15, 14. We're flying the glider. With another person. Anyway, the trips were amazing. But then there's another aspect of it where you have to wear uniforms, you have to shine shoes. I ain't interested in that. At that age, I'm not interested. Yeah? So after a while, I just fizzled out. I said, this is not cool. You know, I just left it. Had I had what I believe in hindsight, obviously, is 2020, but I just needed that somebody say, maybe just stick to it for a little bit longer. Maybe just, Allahu A'lam what would have happened then. But because I didn't have that, I was just able to, and my mom's like, she was super relaxed in so many ways, which was another, this is another trauma. Because at that age, you think that's the best thing. All my friends, your mom's the best. When you grow up, you realize you need
guidance, not dictation.
Yeah, not dictation, but to the point, and it was too lenient as well.
Yeah,
there's a
guidance. Stay there or try this or try it in a different way.
Exactly. But then also when you look at it, somebody can't give you something they don't even know how to give.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because how can she be a dad? She doesn't know.
No, you're right.
Again, I could be wrong, but I'm kind of for the dictation.
Sheikh, I would kind of agree with you.
Yeah, I'm definitely for.
I think there's a balance.
Yeah,
Carrot and stick.
There's a balance.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
definitely for
100%.
enabling what they're good at. But in my mind, I'm like, wait, there's certain things that you need to have. Inshallah, I'm going to make you have it. Make sure you have it.
But would that be a hobby or a skill? Because I would say discipline is a
what I'm
skill.
saying.
I'm not-
Exactly. It's two
Martial
different
arts is a
things.
skill. Reading is a skill, not a hobby. A hobby is something that they're interested in. Whether they do it or not, it doesn't affect their life.
I'm not really talking about hobbies.
Yeah, so he's
And
about hobbies.
even if it is a hobby, I'll frame it as a skill. That's something that I feel like they need to have.
No, so 100%. There are things that certain skills. It's like whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
But whether you like Quran or not, you're gonna
Exactly. They're going to do it. They do it every day, whether they like it or not.
There is an element of dictation.
Yeah, you're talking about interest. Okay.
Whether you love chocolate and candy, but you're not having it.
Exactly.
That's dictation. You get it?
So I think, Sheikh, there in every family, knowingly, unknowingly, what I see, at least in my family, there are some currencies in the house. So for us, the currency is reading. Like you want to buy something, it's reading. Finish 10 pages, 20 pages, 30 pages of this, finish this book. That's a currency. Another form of currency is disagreeing without being disrespectful. So I'll bring like points where like they will like totally disagree with it. And I was like, okay, convince me without being disrespectful. You know, so I feel like that's also a currency in our house because that's a conflict resolution. I think it's very
It's so
important,
powerful.
especially for both boys and girls, but for girls in the household because they're gonna become where they have to probably let the man know,
Navigate,
navigate. Like you got it wrong, but they have to let them know in a way, in a conflict resolution way. Then the man's like, you know what? Why didn't you tell me before? You know, why are you so late? You're actually right, but it has to be done. And for boys, especially if we're trying to make leaders in their capacity, this is one of the key skills: conflict resolution, how to debate, how to actually persuade someone without being disrespectful, how to become charismatic in that sense, right?
On that point, not to cut you, but you know, having a boy and girl as well, what I try to make sure my son is not to behave like a girl.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Because it's very, it's tricky because he's of an age where obviously he's at home with his sister
They might
and
wanna-
his mum,
Yep.
two women. So he needs to also realize, you know, this is one thing I don't get, you know, onto him for much. Yeah, because Allahumma barik, he's good generally. But I pick up on things so then he knows the importance. So I'm not nagging. Yeah, I only pick up on things so you know this is important. Don't argue. If somebody's saying something, you get your point across and you leave it there.
Yep.
Whether she disagrees, doesn't disagree, khalas. She's your sister, she's made different to you. Yeah. Even your mum, you know, even his mum. So he needs to, because khalas, now he's turning 11, he's going to start to navigate these things. He needs to realize the differences are there, why the differences are there, and how to navigate. Because his life will become simple
This
this
is
way.
a very important point to identify these subtleties. Again, you guys might disagree with me here, yeah? But look, my dad was very tough, like extremely tough. Like I would get an A, come home with the best work, and he would say it's not good enough. And I'll be honest with you, I appreciate it. Like I could be wrong.
Now you do. Maybe not then.
Yeah, who likes brushing their teeth? But I appreciate when I go to the dentist and he's like, I'm back. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I definitely, I'm not going to be anywhere near as my dad. My dad was an extremist. He was very tough. You know what I'm saying? His dad was even tougher than him and all of that. So I'm not trying to be my dad, right? Just want to put that out there. But at the same time, I do have for me, it's a little bit of a tough approach, especially with boys. So, like I said, I have one kid. She's a girl, alarm badik. So I exercise my parenting skills on my nieces and my...
I was going to
on my
say
nephew,
though,
yeah.
you have to wait until you have a boy.
So I have
Things
a nephew.
change. When it's your son, there's nothing different.
Okay, but this is what I'm doing right now and it's kind of working.
You're testing it on someone else.
Yeah, so my nephew, he's really smart. Like, he's got all the stuff that good science, inshallah. But if the guy cries too much, bro, I won't tolerate that from him. But you can't cry. You're a boy, bro.
But
you can't do that.
But there's a reason. You can't just say to a child, you can't cry.
Yeah.
There is something behind it.
Oh yeah. For no
And
reason.
that's why only his dad will know. Because behind closed doors, Allahu A'lam. I only know my son, when he gets emotional, why is he getting
he's
emotional?
just...
Is there something behind it?
Oh, the reason he's doing it is because it's worked for him. Like
Also,
when he cries,
You want to teach them to control their emotions.
yeah, that's my point.
Not just.
That's what I do.
Bottle it up.
My thing is, explain it to me in a calm way.
Yeah.
Talk to me and express it to me with words. I don't understand crying.
What
Do you know
happened?
I'm saying?
Why are you crying? Why are you
Even
upset?
with my daughter, for example, when she falls, she would do this thing of just crying and mama pick me up, oh, got a boo boo, come kiss my boo boo, kada. I got to a point where I was like,
Go
babe,
what?
stop picking her up. I was like, get up. When you fall in life, what happens? You get back up.
No.
But I did that for 2 weeks, bro. And now she falls, she makes a little cry face, and I say, hey, baby, get up. She smiles.
It's about consistency as well.
Say
'Cause,
again?
you know, it's about consistency. Because you know the dads usually were like that, but then the mums, like when my son was younger,
Yeah,
he won't look at me.
Yeah.
If he fell on his knee,
Look at
he'll look at his mum.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh! And then he's
He's
crying.
like,
Yeah, you can't do that.
He'll cry. But if he looks at me, nothing. Oh, go on, let's go.
Yeah, that's just a
let's
big
do it
thing for
again.
me. Yeah,
And then he's just
even these little reactions,
Yeah.
I started getting on my wife for that. Babe,
exactly.
Don't do
Yeah.
that.
So
Don't
same
do
thing. You
that.
have to train.
Yeah.
We're training each other.
And Mashallah, she got to a point, Allah Barik, where there's a good understanding now, but it has to be straight. Like
I was speaking to someone recently. They mentioned that when they were young, they almost drowned. Sorry, they did drown. Furthermore, they did drown.
I just wanted to I got sidetracked. And then I'll come to you because it was just a point, the subtlety
No, take
between
it.
boys and
Yeah,
girls.
yeah,
I'm
no, go
really
for it.
sorry. I'm really
Take-
sorry.
Take.
I'm saying little things, yeah. Like for example, I don't know why my daughter's in Spider-Man. Yeah.
Your daughter's what? Sorry.
She's into Spider-Man, right?
Oh, she's into Spider-Man.
She's into Spider-Man.
I thought she inspired man.
That's what I thought she's
No,
into.
she's never watched a movie or anything. It's just when we go to the toy shop, there's a Spider-Man there, and I guess I pointed it out to her one day, and she likes.
That's her imagination, though.
That's her imagination,
It's
right?
clear, yeah.
So she likes Spider-Man. That's why I took her out of gymnastics. I put her into parkour.
Allahumma
So
barik.
jump around like Spider-Man. That's what he does. You know what I'm saying? It's actually very good. Like I'm really like, I saw what some of the other kids do there. It's mad. Allahumma barik. Anyways, so she for the first time was like, Mama, I want a Spider-Man t-shirt. So my daughter found one, right? It was a black t-shirt with Spider-Man. Obviously Spider-Man doesn't have eyes, not face, not like an idol. You know what I'm saying? It's like a little design plus kid. I said to her, hey, that's a boy's t-shirt. She was like, oh, it's unisex. I said, bro, we're not trannies, bro. We're not promoting transsexual, transvestiteness, bro. It's clear there's a boy's outfit and then there's a girl's outfit. She was like, yeah, you're absolutely right. So I said, number one, not only do I want you to find a girl's outfit, find her a spider girl. Do you know what I'm saying? Find her a spider girl. So my daughter found a spider woman outfit. But then she came to me, Allah, she was like, they've kind of sexualized the figure. Like you can see like there's like a figure in that. Do you get me? And I was like, yeah, you're right. So what do we do then? I was like, this is my old bro. I started talking to her about Spider-Man, parkour. Now I've got to fix it. Then there is like a spider girl apparently that wears a hood that looks like a hijab. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And it's legit. So we got her that instead. Do you know what I'm saying? We're planning to get it. Point being is that these are things you got to pick up on.
Yeah, subtle things, very important.
Very important. There was an extended family member that I have. May Allah guide him, yeah?
I mean,
Don't like this guy at all, bro. He abandoned his kids. He abandoned his children. And he used to say to his son as a kid, he said, you're gay. When he would cry, his son would say, oh, you're gay. Stop crying like a gay boy. Do you know what I'm saying? This kid, bro, when he was 3, would walk around with his sister's pink handbag, bro.
This is what I'm
Do you
saying.
know what I'm saying? Alhamdulillah, like my brother, me kind of got involved and Allah guides, man, but he's proper. But these are things that you got to pick up on from early. And the last thing that I mentioned is even like the way you make your kids dress, bro. Me and my wife had a conversation. I said, bro, my daughter's young. She's a kid. I was like, bro, she shouldn't be wearing, like, there shouldn't be flesh.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care, bro. Like, she's a kid.
And everyone's built differently.
Exactly.
Some kids are.
And she's got to learn that this is wrong. Like, as in, a kid will not become modest. Like, for example,
from like what age though?
Huh?
From like what age though?
Bro, I'll be real with you.
For daughters, there's no age, Sheikh.
Yeah, I think
I'm saying from the get-go, like don't even wear any shorts.
No,
or
I'm not saying
nothing,
that, but I think we got there too late. Like she's 5, and we got there too late. Like I think it should have been at the age of 3, because you want you just want the kid to like
like what? Like, are you saying like little mini abaya thing, or you
I'm
mean
saying
just keep skin covered?
Just keep like I'm saying keep
Like
adding
tights.
layers. Yeah. So for example, tights. Yeah, like some people let their kids walk around with really short shorts.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Do you know what I'm
I've
saying?
seen this even, as you said, in gymnastics.
Yeah.
That's why I stopped
Really-
taking my
really
daughter
short
there.
shorts, bro. Do you
Because
understand?
of what other... And forget even this age.
Yeah.
2-year-olds or whatever, they literally dressed up in these like Olympic gymnastics kind of
100%.
one suits.
Yeah.
They look at it as, oh, it's cute or whatever.
No,
but
bro.
obviously for us, it's... And subhanAllah, my daughter... She didn't feel comfortable anyway
very
because
good,
of that.
man.
So alhamdulillah. And I feel like what helps also is having a son and daughter. We've had to navigate that quite early because obviously to have that separation. Like even you can't see your sister like this. And
Yeah,
she can't,
Allahumma
you know,
barik.
there's
Very
that
good.
separation
Very
nice and
good.
early. So alhamdulillah, that's definitely helped.
Like even to the point where it's like I won't dress a certain way around my daughter, and I told my wife
Same. I've told my wife the
you
same
don't
thing.
dress a certain way around the
Sah.
kids. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And
A
like,
little modesty there.
yeah, like we were, for example, like gonna get my daughter a swimming teacher, and then there was I don't know, like I was like I don't want to get a female teacher to teach her because I want to be present at the classes, and I don't really want to see a woman teaching my daughter how to swim. Then we were like, oh, should we get a guy? I was like, brother, I don't want my daughter to
There's a lot of touching in
There's a lot of
swimming.
touching, and
There
I don't
is.
want her to think that there was another guy that was that close and personal in her that wasn't a mahram forever.
no.
And the last thing I'll leave it on is to the point where my sheikh said this, and I saw so much wisdom in it, wallahi, even though I've not been able to implement it, but inshallah I will. He was like, bro, even his daughters, he doesn't allow them to FaceTime him. Because the concept of coming on phone and letting your face be seen and maybe someone else, because he could be
Exactly.
someone could be there. So
Like people are doing Umrah tawaf.
Yeah.
They're.
subhanallah.
I'm like, brother,
and the wife, so, yeah, and everyone can see your wife.
what
Bro.
is happening?
She doesn't even wear hijab or nothing. She's just there watching like it's calm.
I'm like in front of Kaaba, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Subhanallah.
What- Okay, what
You were
was
going to
I-
say something, yeah.
Sorry.
There was
we
a
got
few things.
sidetracked.
No, yeah, no.
You were saying a story, I think.
So I speak to someone, and what happened was that they actually drowned when they were younger. Their dad resuscitated them, blah. But bro, there and then they said, get back in the water. Get back in the water, because otherwise you're gonna have that irrational faith for the rest of your life. Me, I remember, bro, my
Wow.
cousin passed away when I was young, and he drowned in the thing. Yeah, so it wasn't even me; it was a third party.
Yeah.
I remember my
You were
family.
traumatized.
Yeah, no, and for me it was like, my mom used to be scared when I used to go swimming and this and that. Like,
Of
you
course.
know, like, so for me it became like an irrational fear then. I actually started to become scared of swimming, and I was very unconfident. Only recently, a few years ago, that I actually properly learned how to swim. Even I remember we went on Umrah.
Yeah.
And we were doing quad biking, and we were with a massive group, and there's other people there as well. And there's a father and son, and the son must have fallen off, bang, hurt him, so he's bleeding, he's crying. I had a medical kit, came, cleaned it up, gave him a little plaster, whatnot, and then we were like trying to help the kid, back towards the car, and Dad was like, he's going straight back on with the uncle, but he just hurt him, so he's like, it doesn't matter. He needs to learn right now
Oh, my bad.
that he needs to get back on there, and that it's okay. These things do happen, and when they do happen, you
These
can't
are
be
the
going to hurt
gems.
yourself. But guess what? You fix yourself up and you get straight back on. And I think that's a very important thing. And I feel like that's why the father is so important, because the mother, she'll come with that
Exactly.
emotional side, and
Yeah.
man, and this and that. Let's cocoon you with and bubble you, and that has its place as well. It has its place, has its uses, but the real life, when it comes and it hits you, there's no cocoon for you, bro. You have to learn to manage. On the issue you mentioned about clothing, it's important as well, because it's funny. Even with sons, I see it with my son Yusuf. Bro, whenever I buy him clothes, I just buy tracksuits, bro. That's me. All I wear is Stones and tracksuits.
Yeah.
So about him is so every now and again I see like he's wearing some funky. It's not like funky like on a weird one, but it's just it's like them like. What's the word for
Like
it?
the mannequin.
Nude palette colours.
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
just
They're
see
trying to
like
make
those
them like the
models.
mannequin in the shop.
Yeah.
It's boys' clothing. It's
Yeah,
clear it's
yeah.
boys.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know,
Like
for me, I just
stylish.
find it a bit
Yeah.
like, but then where do you draw the line between I personally like Thobe and tracksuits, right? Is it wrong for him to wear, not necessarily,
You know what's
but
going to happen?
I fully agree with what you're saying, because I'll tell you something. A family member of mine did the exact same thing, bro. And they sent me a picture of their son. Yeah. And I was like, bro, what the hell is this? Your kid looks like a little girl.
No. So this was, you could tell clearly, this is not girls' clothing. This is clearly boys' clothing.
Yeah.
It's just different
This is
style.
weird colours.
It's just not my style.
So my thing is, they get it from Instagram, bro. Do you understand?
My wife doesn't have Instagram.
Okay, Allah barik. Then maybe that's
It could even,
fashion.
in the stores. You know, when you go in the stores.
Stores,
You know the
yeah.
mannequin,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the boy mannequin.
Yeah, yeah.
They'll have this thing. Oh, that looks nice, whatever,
Nice.
and they want to buy it. Yeah, but I'll say something to you. Yeah, what will happen? And how old is he now? Young.
4.
Okay.
4.5.
As he grows, he's gonna want to be just like you.
Just like you.
Yeah,
That's it. It's gonna be so simple.
Bro, we wear matching tracksuits. Like matching
Exactly,
clothes,
and it's
matching
gonna be
tracksuits.
even more. It's gonna be even more.
Even more.
Like now, my son, literally, I have to get him. When I buy a Kandor, he wants a Kandor.
Allah
When I buy this track, he has to get that. So alhamdulillah, because I'm so simple,
Allah
same
barik.
thing.
Allah barik.
So it's gonna come to that.
The last thing I was going to mention, you mentioned about the issue of the father that abandoned their kids. Well, this is something that's becoming a pandemic, man. I'm hearing about this so much recently, bro.
Subhanallah.
Fathers fully abandon their kids. Obviously, there's two extremes. There's the flipping mothers that stop their father from meeting the kids, and that's criminal.
And they're all dogs.
And then there's the fathers that, bro, like they'll leave and they're out of the kid's life
Dogs.
completely.
Dogs.
Like they don't want anything to do with them.
Yeah,
Like,
dogs, bro.
But you know,
how can you do that? I don't understand. Like this is a part of you.
I'll tell you something that I told Imran on the pod that we did. That throughout my life, my father. So he lived in Masr, in Egypt. Yeah. So we used to have a good relationship because my mum forced us actually.
Allah
Yeah. So it was the other way around. She would literally phone him. It's his birthday, whatever. Yani do your wajib. Yeah. And we were like, young. Oh, why doesn't he call me? Why doesn't he come? Whatever. He's old school. Yeah. Big age gap between my mum and dad. She was 14 when she had my eldest brother. Yeah. Just to show you. Yeah. And he was a grown man. Anyway, I say that to say, so throughout life growing up, there was a bit of resentment. Yeah. Like, why wasn't he there? Or You start asking these questions. Yeah. And this is, another thing that you guys have that kind of nice toughness because you guys got the tough love. Yeah. But maybe we didn't.
had that, yeah.
Yeah. We didn't have that. I don't know how it is to grow up day to day with my dad there.
Likewise.
Anyway, I say that to say, Allah yarhamuhu, last year he passed away.
Amin.
So I was there in Egypt, by his bed and whatever. And then my auntie, his sister, after the hospital visit, whatever, you can't go, we go together, go have something to eat, we talk, we discuss. And she's telling me about, like so many things I didn't know about my dad. And then she was telling me about like abandonment, like that he went through. Yeah. And then it hit me. It's like,
Clicked.
how can I expect something from this guy that he didn't even have?
So
He didn't know how to display it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's always,
That's mad.
you have to think about these things. These people that are doing these things, these dads,
Yeah.
there's trauma behind it.
Yeah,
But Sheikh, so look,
100%.
It's not for no reason.
couple things. Yeah,
But we have to break that cycle.
100%.
I hugely
There's
separate.
so many cycles we have to break.
I hugely separate those two worlds. Right. The reason why I give
Which two worlds?
the guys that are abandoning the kids today and the guys that might have, for example, not have the best relationships in the past. You know why? Because the old school way of life was that if I'm not there, I don't need to be there. The village is there. Do you know what I'm saying? And maybe they didn't apply it properly, the West in here, because it was an experiment. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what I don't get is guys when they leave their kids today. And I know many who, bro, their dads were there and their mums were there, but it just comes from a place of selfishness, bro.
Some of it's just
comes from a place of selfish,
stupidest reasons, bro.
And they were still like a relationship. I'm talking about a guy, bro. You're calling him saying, bro, like I met with a brother, yeah. This one brother, subhanallah, may Allah reward him, bro. He used to be one of my students. Allah barik, bro. The guy, I'm so impressed with him, become such a good man, bro. He married a sister who's got two
Allahumma barik.
extremely hyper autistic kids, bro.
Allahumma barik.
Bro, like,
Allahumma barik lahu.
yeah, he said, bro, like my life is a life where, and his dad wasn't there, by the way. He tried to build a relationship with his dad.
But there's two. It's like, you know, for example, sorry to cut you, but
Yeah.
you know, like they say, like a lot of, like, let's say pedophiles
Yeah.
or like these criminals.
Yeah.
It's because, so it's either you become what happened to you,
Yeah.
or you go the complete opposite and you will
opposite.
never be like this.
And I've noticed that some of the best
Hurt
fathers I'm seeing
people,
recently.
hurt people.
yeah.
Exactly. So it's either you can go this way or that way.
So come back to his brother, yeah. Like he actually actively tried. And I remember the day when he tried to rekindle the relationship with his dad and the way he just violated him. Like the guy was heartbroken, bro. He's a grown man. He's been stabbed, everything, bro. He's been through it, but you know, a man needs his dad. A boy needs his dad. Anyway, this brother, Allah barik, bro, he married this sister, yeah. And he's like, bro, let's just tell you what my life is like. They've just now had a kid, Allah barik, and it's his kid.
Wow.
It's his kid with his
Plus
wife,
the
Allah
two
barik.
autistic.
Plus the two autistic. He said, just to show you like what my life is like, he goes like, at night, I have to sleep in a way where I'm covering my newborn baby in a way where, because I like, we're in a way where I don't suffocate her while I sleep, but at the same time, my autistic stepson has a tendency to just run out of his bed and come and just jump onto our bed, and he could just squash her.
So-
Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Subhanallah.
So it's like I sleep with an eye open. He goes, "That's my life right now." But he's so happy and the way he's doing it. He told me that when he married the sister, he said to her ex-husband, the father of the kids, he said, "Look, just so you know, I don't feel comfortable you speaking with her anymore if you want to see the kids, but I absolutely want you to see your kids. I'm going to enable you in every way, shape, form for your kids to be able to be with you and just talk to me." So I said, "Oh, alive. Allah barik." I said, "I love the way you handle that." He said, "Yeah, I haven't heard from him since."
Oh,
That's
so
mad.
he never contacted since.
And that's common, bro. That's what I'm saying.
That's common.
It's
This is in my own family. Same thing.
abandonment.
It's
But I don't
happened.
get it though.
I didn't get it.
What would drive? Because look, my dad, you know, my parents got divorced. I was 3 years old, separated. I used to
Same.
see
Actually,
my
3
dad
years old.
twice a month, so once every other weekend. Every other weekend I used to see him. Yeah, but akhi, this guy, Allahumma barik, bro, would take man out. I used to do more things
More
throughout the year.
quality than
Wallah,
quantity.
akhi, anything you could think of Trocadero when it used to be about, now it's gone, right? Madame Tussauds, you know, Chessington's, gone a long time ago. Thorpe Park, just this and that. Like, bro, XL Arena, whenever there was an event, there was a bike event. I remember one time, I got mad memories of just things, so many different things. And, bro, not only just me, because I was the only child. Bro, my 2 cousins from his older brother, his 2 younger brothers who are weirdly around my age. You know, my granddad, was active. He was active. So I've got 2 uncles that are younger than me, one who's just older than me. So he's taking him. Sometimes he'll take the girls out as well, my girl cousins. Sometimes my cousin from America, sometimes he's 15 kids.
Allahumma barik.
Somewhere between 10 to 15 kids. He's taking us all out. He's taking me out as well. Like, so for me, I can never understand. Cool, things didn't work out. There was a divorce. But how the hell can you just abandon your children, bro? Like, as you said earlier, you're a shepherd for your flock. You're going to be held to account for this. Like, what?
I'll tell you.
What has to go through a person's mind, or what level do they have to reach to be able to do that, bro?
I'll tell you. How do we start this podcast? There's an attack on family. In order for liberal democracy, by the way, when I say liberal democracy, it's not the opposite of being conservative, right? Liberal democracy as a concept, right? Individualism, secularism, like all of this could only exist if you in order for democracy to exist and for people to have this self-expression, freedom of expression, freedom of speech, whatever have you, do what they want.
break the family
You have to
unit.
break, not just the family, you have to break them away from religion, from the tribe, from the family, everything, and say, أَفَرَأَيْتَ مَنِ اتَّخَذَ إِلَهَهُ هَوَاهُ. Do you not see the one who took himself as a god, his desires as a god? You had to worship yourself, bro. And that's why everything
mad.
is built on that concept, because this fool thinks that what? It's about him at the end of the day, bro. It's my life. Like, look at what Alex Hormozi teaches, yeah? He teaches, bro,
His single, yeah.
don't go see your mum and dad. Grind. Don't see family. Like, that's the whole concept, isn't it? Like, bro, there's no obligation to...
Shaq, can I quickly mention something
Please.
here? Exactly on
Please.
what you just said is, I heard from someone I forgot. If you want to find out who a man is, see the 5 people he hangs out with. If you want to find out who a man will become, see his mentors. Right, Sheikh? So a lot of these, you mentioning that gentleman, Alex Hormozi, and others, like when people
May Allah guide him. I like
May Allah
his
guide him,
stuff.
because he has so many good stuff, great stuff, right? But when people take mentors, for example, you can literally know every single moves of Donald Trump, like what's he gonna do, if you know who was his mentor. It was Roy Cohn, that lawyer from New York.
The gay lawyer.
The gay lawyer. He hid it. Nobody knew he's gay. But he had 3 lessons. I forgot all of them, but I think the first one was, I actually remember, is attack, attack, attack. Like no matter what, keep attacking.
Offensive.
Wow.
Offense, always no defense. Yeah. So that was
Offense
number
is the
1.
best form of defense. isn't
Yes. Second, he said, never accept defeat. So look what he did 2020 election. And these is Roy Cohn's teachings from 1970s.
Oh, wow.
So if people just studied Donald Trump's mentor, they could have literally saw what he did.
We'll see,
And
yeah.
number 3, even when you fall down, something like still keep confuse them, attack them, something like attack them in a way even when you lose, like show that you have won.
Don't let them see you.
Never admit defeat. Like even when
it? Shot and he still put his arm up.
Yes, exactly. So
Subhanallah.
you can really see where these brothers are now coming to parenting our kids. Sometimes we're not their only mentors. Sometimes we have all these limitations put on, like don't watch Disney shows, this and that. They're not watching, but boys are on Instagram probably watching their thinking good things, listening to Alex Hormozi, who has like 9 out of 10 great teachings. But that one could affect them, Sheikh. It could affect them. And there are few others like that. Like there's another one, he's really good, Andy Frisella. He owns like a supplement company. All his teachings are great. Like may Allah guide him. But again, kidless, married for the last 20 years. He's like, I'm married to the game. So somebody, because 9 out of 10 at the beginning is but he literally said he's acting on it. He's acting on it,
He's married to a different game as well.
Yeah, 9 out of 10 things you take, then you don't know what to take. So it's very important we have to guide our kids who they take as mentors.
And another thing to add to that, lastly, I would say, is don't delegate parenting. This is what I've seen a lot.
Yeah, that is wisdom. Say that again, Ak.
Delegating parenting is what I've seen, especially a lot of brothers making hijrah, successful. They have the money to do it.
Get the nannies.
Listen,
No.
Quran, the nanny, there's literally nothing they're doing together as a family. So why would they have that bond? Where would they create that bond?
It's scary, bro.
It's become a company. It becomes like employees. You have
Systems,
nanny-
operations.
That's it. There's
the nanny
no.
might not even be a Muslim.
Yeah.
She's there telling them bedtime stories about,
Exactly.
kumbaya and whatnot. Like, bro.
Subhanallah. So my dad remarried. Yeah, I have younger brothers,
Allah barik.
and then when I used to go visit them in Egypt, their nanny was Indonesian, Muslim,
Okay.
but their Arabic dialect was Indonesian
Subhanallah.
because they were because the parents were old at the time. They were just spending all day, every day with this
I
nanny.
think the solution is because a lot of the time it's there to replace the village, right? The nanny. But don't get a nanny. Get a maid who does the hard work, so your wife is then able to focus on the kids, spend the time with the kids.
100%.
Get someone to do the cooking if need be.
The
Get someone to do the
non-quality
cleaning,
stuff,
if
changing
exactly.
diapers,
Just,
where
just
you're
like a
not-
driver to drive her around, like everything she needs. Facilitate that for. Splash your money on that.
Even in
But
companies,
don't take her away from the kids.
Yeah, even the mundane tasks you want to delegate,
Yep.
but the vision you want to keep for yourself.
Of course.
Because that's how you're going to drive it forward. So it's the same in the family. If you're giving away the vision, then it's someone else's vision.
Yeah, 100%.
And this happens a lot.
Absolutely.
100%.
With
When I go to the soft play, I'm often, me and Abu Bakr are the only dads. Do you know what I'm saying?
Same here.
And not only that,
They're shocked.
Even that,
Why are you here?
not only that, all the Muslim kids have got nannies. The non-Muslims, the mums
the-
are there.
exactly.
The white
Sa-
mums are there.
yes,
Do you
yes.
understand? The white mums are there.
Sa-
The English mums or the European mums or whatever have you.
You're right.
The Muslims,
Just
oh,
all
it's all nanny.
nannies. Yeah.
Nanny. Sometimes you see the odd, someone like Abu Bakr that's there and me that's there. And you know the thing is that I'm looking at these nannies, not that I'm looking at them like I'm preying them, stuff like that, but bro, they do not care about their kids, bro.
At all.
What's
They
wrong
do
with
not-
hitting the kids? Bro?
I've seen
Grabbing
nannies
them, like-
actually, hitting kids.
Bro, yesterday,
Subhanallah.
one you. So my youngest niece was at the top of the slide, yeah, and she's the youngest. One you, bro, he's like trying to, what do you call it? He's trying to come down the slide, but my niece is just there, and obviously she should come down the slide. It's her, right? But she doesn't understand. She's not even 2, bro. Do you understand? So the nanny's at the bottom, and she's telling the kid, "Oh wait," but there's no heart in it. Do you get me? So I'm watching now, and the kid, bro, he does something to my niece, like he put something on her head or something, and I can't lie, bro. I had to remind myself this is a kid.
Sah.
I had to remind myself it was a kid, bro. Like I'm just looking at the nanny thinking, broski,
That's who you need to get
you
onto,
need to
by
go
the
back.
way.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You need to go back. So as soon as she saw me come, she went and ran to the kid. But my thing is, bro, they don't even care, bro.
At all.
Like the kids are acting up. Do you get me?
I see parents that don't even
Yeah.
seem like they care. They've just checked out.
I did tell her, I said, listen, next time, kid gets in your space, bro. I said,
You know, to me, that's the disappointment. When I
Don't
see
fall down the
kids
slide.
behaving in a certain way, the first thing I think of, the parents are just,
yes.
that's it.
We have to conclude, inshallah. There's one thing that we didn't get a chance to talk about. I really want to talk about it, especially when we brought up this whole concept of individualism and whatnot. And you made a point just now about the mentorship and whatnot and so on and so forth. I do want to mention it briefly, just so we can leave it in people's minds. But I want us to have a podcast on this, yeah? Which is, I think this would require each of us to do like a good amount of research. And I presume we're already doing like a part of it. But I was speaking to my sheikh yesterday, and he was saying there's 3 things that the ummah has to learn. Remember, the ummah starts in the house, right? So you have to teach your children that will form their Islamic identity, that will form their identity. And I believe that all of what we're talking about is kind of like, even like top level stuff. This, what I'm about to mention, I think is the soul of the matter. Because we can do all the stuff that we talked about today, but if we lack this thing right here, I think the children will be empty. And I know we're all doing it at some level, but I feel like this is what we need to perfect. And that is to teach the children your aqeedah, your history, and your language. Let me explain. So aqeedah is your belief, bro. Everyone's got a belief. Is our belief nationalism? Is it democracy? Is it liberal democracy? Is it communist? What is? But what's our belief? Is it feminism? Is it LGBT? Is it right wing? Is it left wing? What's our belief? What's our creed? Right? We're here to worship Allah. We're here to make Allah's word most high. We are Muslims. We are Muslimin. We submit to the Quran. So that's our belief. Number 2, it's what's your history. Akhi, I am telling you, one of the things that I am most distraught about, one of the things that I hate and I despise the education system for more than anything else, is they rob me of my history, bro. They rob me of my history, of my legacy, bro. They rob me of where I came from and my great people. Do you understand? And then the 3rd thing is our language, because the Arabic language is the language of the Muslims. And I'm ashamed to say, I don't speak Arabic in my house. I can't even if I wanted to right now, because I'm not that proficient. Reading, listening, I can read high level stuff, but speaking, it's not there, which is a problem. It's something I really want to work on. But remember, our identity, our heritage is in the Arabic language. Because the Quran and Hadith are, and our texts and our works, our scholarly works, even our non-scholarly works, like just our contributions, even today, what's being produced in the Middle East, bro, is mind-blowing, bro, in terms of science and sociology and anthropology. But what these men are putting out right now is phenomenal. But the language, these are 3 things we need to lock in, man. Lock in our houses. We need to lock in aqeedah, our belief, our history. And when I say history, I don't just mean Sahaba. Yes, of course. I'm talking about, bro, if you ask a guy, who was, other than scholars, because the scholars, at least we hear about them, right? But other than scholars, give me one great Muslim man other than Malcolm X in the last 100 years that wasn't a scholar.
Yeah, very difficult.
Do you understand?
Sah.
And I only this year just started to discover them for myself. And I had to go so deep, akhi, so deep, because it's been we've been robbed of it. So these are things that we need. And lastly, I would just mention dua for your children, man.
Yeah.
The Prophet Allah taught us in the Quran, sorry, to say, رَبَّنَا هَبْ لَنَا مِنْ أَزْوَاجِنَا وَذُرِّيَّاتِنَا قُرَّةَ أَعْيُنٍ وَجَعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. Oh Allah, make our wives and our children the corners of our eyes and make them imams for the people who fear you, Ya Allah.
Allahumma ameen.
Yeah, one last thing I'll say as well is that, going back to what I said earlier, is to that disclaimer that, bro, parenthood is a journey. None of us have reached the end. All of our journeys have been different. What works in your family, in your household, might not work in his, might not work in mine, might not work in yours. We've all got different wives, we've got different environments, different houses. Don't just take blindly what one of us have said and take that as that's the haq and that's what I'm going to implement. No. There's no playbook. You have to make your own playbook. And you take from every,
exactly.
You have to make sure you take the good and you learn and you try, implement, experiment. But just make sure you have a very open mind. You can't come into parenthood with a closed mind that I know exactly what's right and this is what's going to happen. Bruv, no, like I came up with the idea of this, okay, 2 years I'm going to do this and blah, blah, blah. Maybe I might change it for the next child. You learn, you perfect it. But just keep that in mind and don't, because it's scary, it's dangerous. And I don't want someone to implement something that I said and that's on my neck now. That I said this and they said, oh no, but Bakr did this, so I'm going to do it too. Nah, bro, don't do that.
It's like that Tyson saying, you know, he says, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Face.
That's what parenting's like.
That's what parenting's like.
That's what I said to you. You know, when you have a son, inshallah, you'll see. So all of these things comes with experience, and alhamdulillah, you take the good from from people and you leave the bad. And inshallah, it'll work for a greater cause. Bi'idhnillah.
I was changing my son's nappy. I got hit in the face.
Oh, really?
Bro, everyone's got a plan until you get hit in the face. On that note.
سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك اشهد ان لا اله الا انت استغفرك واتوب اليك. السلام عليكم ورحمه الله وبركاته.